We cover some of the outstanding efforts by volunteers to help the people of Puerto Rico, including a recap of the SNJ Today telethon that helped in a big way. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time to understand the past.
Choose to soar to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. The call for action to help the people of Puerto Rico has been taken up by my next two guests. I'm happy to have Linda Neese with Hands Up Disaster Relief and Jessica Rodriguez with Voces Unidas para Puerto Rico. Ladies, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the organizations. You both have two different organizations you represent and you join together to help the people of Puerto Rico. Let's talk, Linda, about your organization.
Okay, my organization is called Hand Up Disaster Relief. We were formed right after Hurricane Sandy to help the people of New Jersey get back on their feet. And since then, whenever there's a disaster around the country, we partner with different organizations to help them provide aid and assistance to those communities.
So you're the pro. You've been at this for a little while now.
Yeah, 5 years we've been doing this, and every disaster is different and unique with the circumstances are different. But the bottom line is the people that we reach and we service all need our help.
Right. And Jessica, you're with a new organization. Tell us a little bit about that organization.
Voces Unidas por, Puerto Rico was established right after the hurricane hit in September. It's run by Yvette Soto, who has done a lot of work with nonprofit organizations. But I'm just a member. I'm here because I was sent to Puerto Rico to help with the relief efforts.
Well, you play a very important role because you're one of the volunteers and certainly putting hands on, if you will, in terms of the relief effort. Now, Linda, I know you helped this new organization now. Tell me how you participated.
What we did was we held a fundraiser in Brigantine, and it was very well attended. And the funds that were raised that evening were used to assist the group that going to Puerto Rico with some of the expenses that they would incur, their airfare, buying food, and things along those lines that they would need once they got there.
And obviously you were one of the members that went down to Puerto Rico. Just tell me a little bit about where you ended up in Puerto Rico. And we're going to get a little more into the kind of work you did, but tell me about the location you went to help.
There were 4 of us, and we ended up at Juncos, Puerto Rico, working with an organization named Mar Azul, who has a center there for ayuda.
And that's a church-based organization.
Church-based organization.
So tell me a little bit about what you saw.
When we first got there, the devastation was still very obvious. It was still prominent. The trees, homes destroyed, roofs missing. Everything was still trying to get back to normal. Roads were still flooded, and it was constantly raining, so there was floods every day. But the people were surviving. They were getting by. Stores are functioning, but everyone's with a generator. Homes are still without electricity. At that point, it was about 50 days out, and there were, the whole town where we were at, no one had electricity.
So this was what time of year? When did you go?
We went November 13th.
That's not too long ago, last month. You were there helping, and in terms of transportation, being able to get to the airport, being able to get there, any issues?
No. At that point, everything was functioning. The airport was operating normal. We got there with no issues, no delays, no anything like that. We were picked up by Gabi and taken to Juncos there was a little traffic jams, but nothing too crazy.
So now's the time, and it's been quite a while since the disaster,
Yes.
where people really need the hands-on help.
Yes.
We're going to continue and talk a little more about your trip to Puerto Rico. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. We'll continue our discussion with the work of local volunteers who are giving a helping hand to help the people of Puerto Rico. And ladies, we talked about the great work and the efforts that your two organizations have done to help the people of Puerto Rico. And Linda, I just want to get back to you in terms of how difficult was it to get the help, to get the volunteers and to raise funds to help people in Puerto Rico?
It was actually not very hard at all. It wasn't difficult. The volunteers that we have, a lot of them had experienced Hurricane Sandy firsthand, so they wanted to give back. They wanted to help others in need. So they organized a fundraiser. It was organized in just a few weeks. The ticket sales were great, and we were able to raise money to help the group go over to Puerto Rico and provide supplies and help that those people needed.
Jessica, I'm sure you appreciated that help, and it's great to see the community come together, not just the Puerto Rican community, but the entire community come together to help fellow Americans in Puerto Rico. Let's talk about your visit. So tell me a little bit about the work you did there.
When we first got there, our goal was to do a mass feeding, to provide warm meals to people who haven't had warm meals since there still wasn't any electricity by the time we got there. So the first event that we held, we cooked arroz con pollo for 275 people. We went out twice in that day. We fed them during lunch, and then we gave them dinner. In the town that we went, the town was called Hormiga, which is located in Juncos. And we ended up also doing like a little small clinic type thing where we set up in someone's home right outside of it, and everyone who needed some type of medical attention came through, and I did assessments. I'm a registered nurse, so I helped emergency room doctor, Dr. Leon, who works in Bayamon, and he provided medications for the people.
What were some of the issues that you faced there in terms of the medical needs?
We've seen a lot of rashes, a lot of infections, but what was really shocking to me was the blood pressure. The blood pressures were extremely out of control, always in the 170s, 180s, depending on the person, but most of the pressures that we took were in the 170s and 180s for the stress.
This is November when you were there, and folks have been without electric since then. Certainly a very stressful situation. And how about the water? Were there issues with the water?
There were still issues with the water. There were certain areas where you weren't allowed to have or to drink the water. There were a lot of people still on a daily basis out and about giving water. At one point we had driven out to Jayuya, and we got lost and ended up in Utuado, and we seen a National Guards with a huge tank of potable water still going around the town, giving water to the people and advising them not to drink the local water. I also came across a young man who was only 36 who told me he had a dialysis port and had asked for medical attention. Wow. And he said that he actually was diagnosed with leptospirosis, and now he's on dialysis, is what he said. He was on dialysis now to help flush out his blood because he is infected. So he wasn't on antibiotics, but so the doctor he was with assessed him and gave him medication for it.
Certainly, there've been a lot of health issues post-storm that are very critical, and certainly the great help of having medical professionals such as yourself and others to help. That's certainly a great comfort.
Yes, absolutely.
We want to continue this discussion because we also want to talk about the Thanksgiving dinner that you guys put together as well there to help the people in Puerto Rico. Absolutely. We're going to continue that discussion. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue to discuss the helping hand of local volunteers to help the people of Puerto Rico. Ladies, we were talking about some of the great work, and I know that you have volunteers who are preparing meals, but you have one very special meal for Thanksgiving. Tell me about that.
Yes. The whole time that we were in Juncos, we worked with Gabby, and we worked side by side with the mayor. And, we saw him every day. And on a couple days before Thanksgiving, on a Monday, he asked us whether or not we would be willing to stay a couple days longer and cook for the people on Wednesday, the day before. So we agreed to it. We all rescheduled our flights, and he provided the food, and we cooked for over 500 people.
Wow.
It was great. 500 people came out, probably more, but we had like trays for 500 people, and we were still giving food. So it was awesome. They also gave out supplies, they gave out groceries. It was just a little bit of everything. It was great.
It's interesting how in Puerto Rico, the mayor really have to do a lot, right? So they're really engaged and involved.
It was very hands-on, and the people of the town absolutely love him. Like everyone called him Papo. His name is Alfredo Garin, and everyone called him Papo. They come up to him, "Hey, Papo, how you doing?" and hugged him and gave him a kiss and thanked him for everything. He was very hands-on, very hands-on.
So Linda, I know that a lot of the work your organization has done has been a great help to put hands on the ground, feet on the ground in Puerto Rico. Do you plan to continue that effort?
We absolutely do. We do have a large space in Brigantine that was donated to us. It's set up as a collection site. We have schools, we have colleges, Girl Scouts, everyone that's still collecting all different types of supplies, personal care items, canned goods, diapers. And what our goal is to get, once the center is full, we'll get these supplies over to Puerto Rico, and they'll be distributed to the families in need.
And I know that part of the issue, because of what's happened in Puerto Rico, that we also have an exodus of people coming to the area. Yes. And I understand you also prepare to help them as well.
Yes. A lot of the families coming have only the clothes on their back. So what we want to do is provide them with winter coats, some boots, and just eventually they'll be in their own housing. A lot of them are staying with relatives. Mm-hmm. But when that time comes, we want to be able to provide them with some items for their home and things like that. We want them to make them feel welcome. And, it's a big transition for them coming here, and we want to do everything we can to make it smooth.
So certainly, Jessica, that's a great help. And do you plan to continue to put the hands on and go again to Puerto Rico?
Absolutely. And actually, I wanted to piggyback on Linda's comment about the people that are coming here. Actually, Voces is doing a lot for those people as well with Linda side by side. We have placed people, we have family clothed them, provided housing, helped them with jobs. So completely involved, and the community is awesome in helping us with it. And with all the stuff that Linda has collected for us and that we've collected, we've been able to give them stuff to start them off. Clothing.
So how do you hear about the need? How are people finding about your organization?
Actually, Yvette is working hand in hand with FEMA. She's directly connected with them. Okay. She's placing them in hotels and stuff like that. Now they're being placed in hotels. So she gets all of the information of all the people that are coming in, and from there we determine like the family size, the clothing that they need, and all that. And we go to the storage unit, we sort things out, and we provide that for them.
It's just a tremendous amount of help. That's very well appreciated. Thank you so much. We're going to continue. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion as we take a view of the recovery efforts on the ground in Puerto Rico. And Jessica, you're very familiar with that effort on the ground in Puerto Rico. You were involved with a local organization. Tell me about that.
We worked side by side with a man named Gabriel Isea, who is a pastor of a new church called Mar Azul. They are a new, young, non-denominational church, and him and his wife are the leaders of their Centros de Ayuda en Juncos. And what that is like a little distribution center where they collect supplies and they distribute it out to the people of Juncos, and people can come there also and get what they need.
So let's listen in. We have a great clip of that work in action. Let's listen in.
Esta es la historia de una iglesia local que se convierte en parte de la esperanza para una isla entera. ¿Cómo nacen los centros de ayuda de Mar Azul? 6 días después del huracán, puedo llegar a Puerto Rico y buscar a los líderes en sus casas, algunos llamarlos. No había comunicación, para tener una reunión en la que íbamos a decidir cómo lanzaríamos estos centros de ayuda alrededor de Puerto Rico. Un huracán categoría 5, sus efectos son devastadores. Y como centros de ayuda nosotros estamos en este juego a largo plazo. Así que esperamos por los próximos 3 años estar activos en la fase de recibir donaciones y distribuir donaciones a los lugares que lo necesitan. Pero también creemos que vamos a entrar en una fase de reconstrucción de las comunidades que también nos va a tomar el recovery. Es importante que ustedes sepan que durante la grabación de este video estamos aproximadamente en el día 53 después del paso del huracán María. Y en 53 días, o digamos que nosotros hemos trabajado de hecho 47. Los centros han estado operando 47 días desde el desastre. En 47 días nosotros hemos logrado alcanzar 61 pueblos con nuestra distribución. Tenemos más de un 78% del país alcanzado, por lo menos con suplido. Hemos identificado 39 centros locales. Eso es importante porque cuando hablamos de centros locales son iglesias u organizaciones que han recibido nuestro suplido con el propósito de distribuir en su propio pueblo. Las personas ven el mapa y ven esos centros locales y esos nombres en el mapa o esos puntos que se reflejan en la gráfica, pero es difícil tener una idea real de lo que está pasando en el campo, en el field. Todavía, en este punto en el que estamos, hay sectores en cada pueblo, hay bolsillos en cada pueblo que tienen una gran necesidad. Y yo creo que la iglesia tiene una capacidad especial, no solo para repartir alimentos, sino para repartir esperanza. Yo creo que en este momento es una gran oportunidad para nosotros, no solo para hablar de esperanza, sino para hacer la esperanza, hacer las manos y los pies de Jesús en acción.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. In addition to all of the great efforts that you ladies have put in, we also had a very successful telethon on SNJ today. Let's listen in.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us as we present the Heart to Heart Puerto Rico Telethon in hopes of raising money and hope for the people of Puerto Rico. I'm Michelle Dawn Mooney, one of your hosts for this afternoon.
And I'm Bert Lopez, and it's been nearly 3 months since the storm hit Puerto Rico and hit landfall there, devastating the island, destroying homes, and really putting a lot of people without power. And it's been a significant event. So we're here, One Cumberland is bringing Cumberland County residents and organizations together, all to donate to one relief cause to help the people of Puerto Rico.
Has started sinking. There is so much love in this heart of mine. I get stored away for a rainy day. Can't remember when you left. No reason feeling this way. Everything's going pretty okay. I woke up this morning, was a brand new day, and I got no reason for feeling this way. Well, I got no reason feeling so blue. You can take all the tea in China, put it in a big brown bag for me, sail right round on the 7 oceans, drop it straight into the deep blue sea.
Amazing effort by everyone. It's just been great working with all of you to make this happen. And certainly for my family as a Puerto Riqueño, we're so happy that Cumberland County has come together in such a big way.
And this doesn't end today. You just heard from some amazing people who have spent hours trying to get this together. Thank you, everybody who's been giving. Thank you, all the volunteers who made this happen, everybody in the phone bank. And thank you for that total right there. We will see you very soon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Buenas noches. Gracias. Well, that was amazing work by the CEO group and SNJ today to raise $56,000.
Wow.
What a great
All
job.
this effort helps, and thanks for your efforts as well in sharing your story here on Latino Motion. And thank you for joining us at home once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.